Hello, this is Photography Gamer, welcome back to the channel. Today I am reviewing The Walking Dead The Final Season for the PS4. The Walking Dead The Final Season is an episodic adventure game developed by Telltale Games. This is the fourth and final season of the game series. For anyone who hasn't played a Telltale game, they are more like an interactive movie than a traditional computer game. If you played the previous 3 installments, you can import your save data and it will carry over the decisions that you made. There are some action parts in the game, but generally it's conversational choices and moral choices that dictate the game experience. You play as Clementine, the main surviving protagonist in the series. Clementine is still a child herself, but she is responsible for AJ, a young boy who was born in the apocalypse and is now being shaped by that harsh world. The most interesting addition to this installment in the game is AJ and how your actions influence him. Everything you do and everything you say will have an impact on AJ. He looks to you for guidance in how to treat people, how to deal with difficult situations and how to respond to threats. It's a really fantastic idea and it's akin to being a parent, but in a world full of horror, zombies and death. So it's a massive challenge to keep AJ on the right path, and it makes the whole experience a lot more interesting as you have to consider someone else, not just survive on your own and screw the world. You've got to look after this kid and shape him into a decent person. So the story starts with Clem and AJ on the road trying to survive together. After this short prologue, you encounter the first group of survivors, and this is where the game really starts to excel. This series is all about how you treat people and how you react to their actions. So when you encounter new people, little decisions can have big long-term effects on the story. If you treat people like crap, then they will remember it. Likewise, if you're kind and you're caring and you're considerate, they will be more likely to side with you when the proverbial shit hits the fan. The gameplay is more like conversational and it's about your choices than your actual kind of actions. You're constantly confronted by moral dilemmas here. And something you should know is quite often there isn't a right answer or decision, there's just a choice. And usually, no matter what you decide to do, someone's going to get annoyed with you because you can't please everybody. Much like in real life, so you have to make the decision that you feel is right for you, the decision that's right for AJ, and the decision that's right for the group as a whole. It's really quite difficult at times because you've got to consider a lot of different factors. How will the group look at you afterwards? How will your choices affect AJ? And how will his behaviour change depending on what you do? The game's always interesting and every choice feels meaningful and has weight to it. The story is just fantastic and it's a very well put together piece, both in terms of the writing and how the branching storylines make you feel like you're in a very high quality movie. For me, it's one of the best writing in any game series and it's full of complex moments and difficult scenarios. Obviously I'm not going to spoil this, I can't go into too much detail without ruining it, but just to know that this game is really enjoyable and the story is so very complex and interesting. The main enemies in the game aren't the zombies necessarily, although they are a threat. The main danger in this game comes from people, and how you react to them and how you treat them will shape your journey and how AJ turns out. It's not a hard game to complete. You'll finish this 4-episode saga in like a few days, but it's really the choices that you make that are difficult. Because like I said, there isn't a black and white answer. There isn't a right answer or a wrong answer. It's just how you want to play it, how do you want to be. So every playthrough potentially you could have a different story just depending on what you decide to do. Graphically, the game is the most impressive of the series to date. It has a slight cel shading style to it, as it's based on the comic book of the same name. Presentation wise, character models, character design, it's all excellent, it's all well done and it all kind of has a really cool art style that really works. The audio in this game is as good as any other game out there. The music is perfect, it's got an amazing score and each piece of music really fits perfectly with the tone of that moment. The songs used in the credits are excellent as well. The voice acting in this game is second to none. Obviously the writing does help the acting team, but the way all the cast members deliver their lines is really great. It's totally believable, the tone, the emotion expressed by all the cast, it's just right on point. It's one of the most captivating games in terms of story and narrative, and the writers and the cast have absolutely excelled themselves here. It's as engrossing as any top-notch TV show or movie. You can sit there, watch and be completely immersed in the moment. Okay, so what's good and what's bad about The Walking Dead, the final season? What's good? The storytelling is sensational, the writing is excellent. Having to look after AJ is a very interesting and complex addition. It's got great voice acting, the moral dilemmas are really interesting, and it's a fitting finale to the game series. What's bad? There really isn't anything bad. Maybe it's a little bit short like most of the other games, but it's the kind of game that you just don't want it to end because it's so good. So, I mean, is that a bad thing? I don't know. So what is the verdict? The Walking Dead, the final season, is a fantastic game with a fantastic story. It's brutal, dark, challenging in a moral sense, and having to care for AJ adds another interesting dimension to the experience. It may not be a traditional hands-on game, but you have more control of the tone and the story than in most other games. It's all about choice. It's all about who you want to be and how those choices will affect you and AJ. If you play games to feel something, to have a unique experience, then this game will be for you. It's a great story in a realistic and harsh world. It's perfect storytelling, and it's a perfect finale for Clementine's story. Overall, it's a fantastic whole series. Seasons 1 to 4 are great. You can get it in one package, and I'd recommend you do that because it's such a great story. And if you enjoy good stories and good narratives and having the freedom of choice, fantastic games. So my score for The Walking Dead final season is 9 out of 10. It's a fantastic game, as is the whole series. Okay, so that was the review. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. This is Photography Gamer, signing off. Thank you.
Hey, I love you.
I love you too, Clem.